In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.
Everyone, how are you doing today? We are at the end of this book. I don't know how many weeks it took us, but we are at the end. We're also going to be reading next Company of Prophets. Wait, not Company of Prophets. Celestine Prophecy. I've been dying to read this book. It's so old that some of us in this book are already doing what this book said we would be doing, but it would be nice to read a book that kind of foretell the future, even though we're in the future. It's a weird kind of thing we're going to go through in this book, but let's invest. I'm not going to read the book for 3 weeks because I am going to have some practice sessions with you for the next 2 Sundays, like metaphysical practices. So come aboard next week so that we could have some sessions on our metaphysical growth as a YouTube channel. Jason and I are doing a metaphysical class that is aligning what you see in terms of your belief system and your growth, and restructuring the religion inside of you. So we're just kind of like opening up some new pathways for a reconsideration, and because we're all going through a reset, and I don't want you left behind, right? Because when you're left behind, you'll start getting mad at people. You'll be like, oh, that's witchcraft, da 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 da. But that's because you're being left behind. When most people have the goddamn gift in them. Most people do, right? Blacks got it from Africa, but slavery taught you not to do it. Ireland has it. Italy has it. Egyptians have it. Like, we all have this extra thing that's inside of us. Imagine if we all woke up at the same time. Imagine that's what God is trying to do. What if he's just trying to wake us up? What if COVID was the ability to process waking up metaphysically? I think during COVID, Melissa and I read the Bible. I think we read Revelation. And boy, oh boy, was that an eye-opening. So go back and find Revelations. I think it was called Revelations. And hopefully I chaptered all of them, but I didn't put them in a series. Maybe I should do that. But every time I promise to do it, I don't do it. So y'all gonna have to figure it out. But the Revelations was mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing. And I think I read it during COVID. And in a weird twist of fate, it helped me to understand COVID. That was the weird thing. So just understand that you and I are more than what we are perceived. I am more than black. I am more than a female. And I was born both this way. But if I took the black out, which I can't, I'm not trying to, and if I took the female away, which I can't, I'm not trying to. What's my soul? Is my soul a black person? Like my real soul, not the one that I created inside my head. Soul Train. I'm not talking about that one. Does my soul have a color, really? Or am I looking for energy and people that carry my energy? Now, energy is huge. The earth is full of energy. But what am I attracting if I don't look at my color and my gender? What am I attracting? And no matter what I'm attracting, do I want in my sphere what I'm attracting? Do I want you in my sphere? Or do you need a little bit more time to grow? And maybe I'm not the source to help. Maybe I am. Either way, we're at a reset of looking at ourselves. Not your hair color, not your eye color, not your big boobs that you might have had to pay for. No. The soul that has no boobs, no gender, no color, but is only energy. What is my soul attracting? That's why Jason and I are doing these classes, to restructure whatever you were taught. And I love it because sometimes I get people that's like, oh, I used to think this way. Okay, that's just the beginning, right? That's just the beginning, right? It feels good when you begin to restructure. It really does. And then when you sit in it and you recognize, call me a witch, I welcome it. You're a witch. Thank you. Thank you. I worked on it. All right, let me see who's available to say hi to. Hi, Sanji. Hi, Lati. How are you? How are you doing? All right, let's get started. In this book, we are on page 232, I believe. I couldn't decide where I ended, so hopefully it'll come to me because we're going to finish this whether it kills me or not. Where's my bell? Okay. 232, being able to materialize physical world events and effects, solidifications, and conditions from consciously created pictures in her mind are abilities Beverly Moore has had since she was a child. But in childhood, I didn't know if I was creating it or if I was just foreseeing it. I am one with very much faith. When I ask God for something, I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to happen. We're going to talk about that. There's no lack in the universe. We're going to talk about that. I have problems like everybody else, but I only give energy for it to work out for its highest good. Beverly is clear hearing and clear seeing, this declares, with abilities in creative visualization, automatic writing, and card reading. A resident of Sanford, Connecticut, she teaches courses in psychic and spiritual development through local adult education programs and provides individual counseling. Beverly recalls her abrupt leaving of her family when she was 17. She only had $25 when she left for college in North Carolina to go to Atlantic City and only $10 after paying her bus fare. She knew with some certainty she was going to get a job upon arrival. It was an intuitive knowing. As the bus approached Atlantic City, she fell asleep. In a dream state, she saw a hotel and the unclear image of a man. She saw he would give her work, a place to stay, and meals as wages. After 5 minutes, after I saw the vision, I woke up, pulled the bus cord for the bus to stop. Outside, had seen the same hotel in my vision. The motel manager said his chambermaid had just quit. Would you be interested in taking over the job with salary, board, and room? Beverly remarks that she had sometimes suppressed her clear seeing ability because of incidents relating to it. After I suppress it, it takes time to get it back. But there for a time is kind of a fear there. For example, at 2 in the afternoon one day, I was quiet, not meditating, just quiet. Every time I closed my eyes, I would see something. I saw a man. What I saw wasn't frightening, but there was a part of me that got upset. The man was close to me. He had a bald head, and I could see the wrinkles in his scalp. I said, oh, I wasn't sleeping. I was dreaming. I've seen other things like this. But he was a little too close. Most of the other real things had been at a distance, as if looking through a telescope. It's like a light, and it opens up, and then the images are there. It's just like I'm peeping through a peephole, and I can see you on the other side in the flesh. That was fine with me as long as it was at a distance. There was a time I was meditating and I astroplaned, but I didn't do it voluntarily. I said to myself, Dear Heavenly Father, I'm not ready yet. I could feel the altitude change. I could see so many beautiful things, but I didn't want it. But I did want it. Changing the subject, Beverly says, I do past life regressions. I do know that in a past life, I was a very clear seeing, and exactly what it is, I haven't tried to find out. I do know for 17 years in a past life, I was blind with the physical eyes, and that made me develop clear seeing more. There is a block, missing link for why in this life I'm having trouble accepting it. What I think it is, it just reminds me of when I was blind. So part of me doesn't want clear seeing. See. That's how she implements a gift. Beverly believes I teach. There seems to be a yearning or an urge to develop people's sensitivity. She tells her students they can handle their own problems and proceeds to show them what to do. It's not that you are born with a veil over the face or something like that. Everyone has a gift. I just talked about this. She says, I'd like to bring it out. One of Beverly's projects is teaching self-awareness to children. Favorite thing in the world. Favorite thing. Because y'all are making COVID children. Now, let me tell you something. These COVID children are being born with a gift. I'm afraid y'all gonna mess with these COVID children. They're born gifted. Self-awareness to choosing, using the technique of meditation and breathing exercises. She teaches them self-attunement. They find they can do it. It doesn't take days. They can do it the same day. I show them. Recalling an experience with her husband, Beverly notes, over a period of a month and a half, I felt something was wrong. I knew somebody was going to pass, somebody close to me. I thought it was maybe someone in North Carolina. I did my automatic writing and meditation. Sorry, guys. The information which comes through for me is for my highest good. I left it alone, and then about a week later, I began feeling airy, really, really airy. It was so strange. I felt the separation. I noticed even the children did. It was like my husband wasn't there. It was like he was here in the physical, but he wasn't. There was a block between us. The feeling was like there's no need for us to be married. I started thinking about divorce. Beverly's husband died unexpectedly soon after from heart stoppage during a tracheotomy. Earlier, Beverly had done a card reading which revealed he was sick, that a physical problem was not being handled. The cards pointed to a separation and a new beginning for him and for her. Interesting. Let's talk about that. She told him about it, but for the first time, her husband listened to her and went to a doctor. When he came back, it was like a new lifetime for us. It was beautiful. He was more loving. We had the best time. That 1 week was like a lifetime. I never saw him pray, but I knew he prayed and listened to me that day. Within a week, however, he authenticated the message Beverly received through the cards. To explain how she used creative visualization in resolving conflicts, Beverly says, no matter what they have said to me or done to me, I separate myself from the personality of Beverly Moore or ego. I lift myself to a higher state of consciousness, a more divine state of consciousness. I visualize I'm looking down on earth and I'm sending them a lot of love. I see them hugging me and I am hugging them. What happens is that person either calls me or comes to my door, and sometimes I come to them. I don't worry. I just allow myself to be led. If I am led to do something, I do it. Doesn't matter who comes to who. When the meeting is there, you can tell that something divine has happened. When you want something to win, you are winning yourself. Suppress a negative thought comes to mind. No, wait. Suppose a negative thought comes to mind. I know how to strike it out, how to release negativity from my mind. I teach people how to do that. It's part of loving yourself. And make sure you don't feed yourself negativity, whether it's in a courtroom situation or job. Send in the love. Beverly advises earnestly that love is the highest vibration. Visualize love coming from God sources through the chakras and loop it into a courtroom. I don't worry how it's done. It just works. All right, let's just talk just a little bit, but I don't want to talk too much. I do want to get through this book. Let me see, 232. Okay. I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to happen when I ask God for something, right? Without a shadow of a doubt. My best example is 2 years ago when I met a man and his wife at an agricultural fair we have, and they sold herbs. And they sold so many herbs that I didn't even know what to get. And I'm trying to think. I remember getting nettle and something else. But you know me, I get the herbs for magic. And then I looked at the man and I said, how can I work with you? And he said, let's exchange numbers, which we did. And then I don't know if I called him or he called me and invited me to his store. And still and yet, I didn't get the sense that I could work with him. But he started thinking, and he's like, Tracy, I want to sell more commodities, and maybe you could be outside the store selling. I said, tell me what you want me to sell. He's like, well, maybe local fruit, sweet peppers, whatever. And I said, I'll do it. I didn't even know what that meant in terms of like sitting outside in a hot sun. And there's a thing called a market, so there is an awning. But I just said, I'll do it. And next thing I know it, he's not at the store. They're fixing the store up because new owners had taken over. And I said to God, how do you have me meet this man and not have me complete a task? I didn't understand that. Like, I knew I met him for a reason. So why am I not participating? Like, what is the reason? But I let it go because I know God's greater design. Like, it's bigger than me. 2 years went by before I happened to walk into the wrong restaurant. But the way I walked into the wrong restaurant, I can also exit. So I could have went left, or I could have went right. No, I could have went right or could have went left. But left meant going into this restaurant, and right meant I wouldn't go in the restaurant. So Spirit said, which is something I never do. I never go downtown to purchase like chicken wings. It's an impossibility. I had to go this particular day to get some chicken wings. I didn't know if I should go left or I should go right. And I said, just go left. You can exit out. And there this man was. And I looked at him and I said, hey, I've been looking for you for 2 years. He's a very serious man. And he goes, sit down. How have you been? And I said, I've been fine, but where have you been? The store closed. I said, Lord, I'll never meet up with this man and his wife. Like, I don't understand. And look at me, just running into you. And he goes, I'm the king. And I was like, okay, king. And so he finished eating. He invited me to eat, but I did try to eat, and something soy sauce was in the chicken wings, and I can't eat chicken wings. And he watched me fuss like a little bitch, like, I can't eat this, I can't eat this. Hilarious, right? I didn't know I was going to wind up working for this man. So he stays very quiet as me and the chef go at it. And when we leave, he shows me his new location. And I said, oh, to God. I said, oh, that's why I walked here. See, there's a thing with me where I walk the path of the place I'm supposed to be at. I have to walk it somehow. And the walk has to be literal, right? even coming to St. Thomas, I had to be, no, I'm not in St. Thomas, St. Croix. I had to come here for vacation, which means my feet have to touch the ground in order for something more meaningful to show up. I've been like this all my life. One day when I was in my late 20s, there was a way to walk home when I got off the commuter's bus. And I could have walked in 3 different directions, but I always walked in a particular direction. And my house was on that direction one day. So I always have to walk back. In any case, I walked past this man's store to run into him. And then when we left, he was like, "This is my store." And I was like, oh. I was like, well, God, you kept your promise. And that's the farmer and his wife that I work for right now. And I am loving it. But remember, I asked God for this. The fact that I didn't get to show up and meet up with him for 2 years is on God, right? Not God forgetting about me, but making sure the coordinates could be met at the same time. And that took 2 years for the coordinates because he had just gotten that store a month before meeting him. A month. So what are the odds? All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is earlier, Beverly had done a card reading, which revealed her husband was sick, that a problem was not being handled. The cards pointed to a separation and a new beginning for him and for her. 2 things about that. Sometimes I will do a card reading and it doesn't show me death. It shows me new life. Remember, death is new life. So sometimes I have to figure out in the cards, what are you showing me? Are you showing me death or are you showing me transformation in what I call death? Like spirit isn't using the same words as me, even in the cards. And I have to be like, why are you showing me it this way? Right? So then I have to decide that what God is showing me has to do with the person. That if they just gave me death, I would announce it too harshly. So they show me a gentle way of the transformation. So then I'll have some questions. I was like, oh, I see somebody that could be sick here. Who is that person? Sometimes I'm not trying to guess. Oh, your dad is sick. I don't have time for that. You already know your dad is sick. And she'll be, oh, my dad. And I was like, oh, okay. So I look at the cards to see how much more time the person has. And then depending upon how much time they have, I will say, contact your dad immediately. So I had one girl who was separated from her dad because of her mom. And I looked at the cards and it told me something, but it wasn't clear. So I couldn't tell her because it wasn't clear. But what was clear was for her to reach out to him ASAP. Reach out to him. But he could reach out to me. Got it. Don't give a fuck. Reach out to him. And then one day she texts me and she says, I reached out to my dad. And I was like, oh, look at you. Have fun. And months went by, maybe about 15 months. She texts me again. And she said, I am so glad I reached out to my dad. He died a month ago. But the time that I had with him, everything. And I thought, oh God, man, you be working it. So imagine that little girl who was so angry at her dad because he wasn't reaching out to him. Imagine her as a woman dating. She's not going to trust men. She's going to expect that they're going to leave, right? Based upon what her dad did to her. So imagine the internal structuring change that occurred when she reached out to her dad and he told her story she had never heard before. Like, I tried and everyone stopped me. And then getting over that just to know the man as an adult woman, how beautiful that can still be, how he still can capture that little girl inside and grow her up in 2 years and put her back out in the world without him as a more loving woman, not a jaded woman. That made my day. And I didn't have to know the man was dying. All I had to do was tell her, reach the fuck out to your dad. You do it. And it made her whole life. That's beautiful. Sorry for the tears, guys, but this fucking moon, it's an Aries moon, but it's so emotionally vibrant. The next thing I want to point out, suppose a negative thought comes to mind. I swear for God, I just had a client just before you guys, which is the reason why I was starting late. And this is one of the things we were talking about. Suppose a negative thought comes to your mind. Strike it out. Release the negativity from your mind. It's actually part of loving yourself. And you must make sure don't feed yourself negativity. And I was telling her how I had just had a bad thought. And I had to figure out how to turn my own bad thoughts into a loving, like send love in, right? So I had a bad thought about a person or two. And I have been thinking this way for about a week now. And it's exhausting to have negative thoughts. It really is. Like, it really depletes you of your energy. And so I said one day, this week, I said, no, you can stop this. Throw in love. See it lovingly. Feed it love. Don't be angry with that of which you cannot control. Because you, Tracy, cannot control this. But you can throw in love. So the next time I see it in a loving aspect, not in an anger aspect that I can't control. And then my client calls and we had the same conversation, and I explained to her how recently this has been a problem for me, but I had to remind myself to throw in love. It doesn't mean I get to control the outcome. It just means I get to control my thoughts. I don't feed myself negativity. And sometimes you just have to remind yourself not to feed yourself negativity. So the next time you're going out to work and you open your door to step out in the threshold of life, don't step out with, oh God, I got to go to work. Open that door and push out love. I got to go to work and all them motherfuckers are going to love me. We're going to have a good day. Nobody's going to argue with me. Nobody's going to tell me I'm wrong about something. They are going to love me. Period. And you step out that door proud, because that is your control. You can only control you. So when you push love in the universe and all those birds are watching you come through that threshold of your door out into the open world, they heard you. They're going to fly ahead of you. They're the ones that's going to make sure that work is pleasurable. The birds are your angels. This is where your ancestors follow you around all day long. All right. Send in the love. All right. Let me see what everybody is saying. There's a lot of comments up here. Yes, they are going to love me from now on. They are going to love me. Right, Lottie? That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I have to try and reframe and put so much love in. Yes, it's terrible to have bad thoughts, and it's so damn draining. That was a beautiful thing, Bree says. That changed her life. Right, Bree? Lottie, thank goodness they got year-proof love and memories. Yes, infinite, precious memories from a 2-year relationship. Man, that is where God is. Bree says hi, Lottie. All right. Doubt is a feeling from worldly experiences. Yes, it is, child. Hi, Rhonda. Spirit said go to town. Never go to town for no chicken wings. It's an impossibility because it's so daunting to go into town. That's where the party people are, but I don't even want to party. But something told me go into town, and I said, why? And I was like, well, I need some chicken wings, right? If Spirit knows, if you talk food, they got me. Spirit already knows. If you want her to meet that man, we got to talk to her about food. Tell her go get some chicken wings. And I was like, chicken wings. I got in that car so fast to only meet up with my destiny. Now, if that could just happen with my man, come on, Spirit. Talk to me about some more food to get my man. I'm listening. I believe. Whew, I'm sorry. I'm just drinking water. I am obsessed with water lately, guys. Obsessed. But I also think I'm dehydrated. All right. I'll bring you up on a marquee. This is a favorite expression Claude Perry uses to signal his intention to psychically read the individual before him. In this way, the Livingston, New Jersey high school counselor, guidance counselor, and psychic receives information about another person's future or hidden troubles. Before his inner eye, a marquee flashes with messages about people and events, and he reads them from the psychic signboard. Claude has a master's degree in education, is working on a doctorate. His wife, Mabel, also a guidance counselor, already has her doctorate in education. In his guidance counselor role, he reads the high school students' aura as he counsels them. I can tell the students what's on his mind in parts. One student planning a technical career admitted with relief that he really wanted to go to college after Claude told him of his inhibiting desires. Claude had often prepared a student for a crisis which he foresaw. His efforts are towards awakening the potential of each individual he counsels. I pick up their auras, but I don't tell them I'm a psychic. As a child, Claude comments, I would dream a lot and I would have understanding of my dreams. I would send telepathic messages to my mother. His auric sense arrived in a spontaneous manner. The electromagnetic energy fields surrounding people and objects in varied colors, destinies, and vibrations suddenly became visible to him. placing his hands on the object he knows through the vibrations the owner's concerned. Not until college did Claude give him credence to his ability. His gift of prediction was emerging. He predicted 3 years before it happened the resignation of President Richard Nixon. During a trip to Japan, he became interested in Buddhism. He had learned to appreciate the cultures of all people. One of his enjoyments is reading the Psalms. That's one of my enjoyments. He feels religiously attuned with the biblical hero David. I am religiously attuned to female characters of the Bible, female heroes. Mary Magdalene is my favorite. Okay. Along with his gifts came the knowledge that he could not use them for lottery. See, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. I want to use my gift for the lottery. Get out of here. I bring down the ability to use my spiritual gifts for the lottery. Please, God. All right. You know, every year I want to do a psychic reading on the Super Bowl, but I'm always afraid that people would trust me and then put a lot of money on the Super Bowl, and then I'm wrong, because God will make you wrong on purpose, and I get the whole world mad at me. I might do it this year. I might do it. I might look at the cards and decide who is going to win this year. You know why I'm going to do it this year? Because I give two fucks. Whoever wants to depend upon me, you're stupid, right? Don't do it. Don't do it. But I'm going to do it for me. I'm going to do it. All right. Along with his gifts came the knowledge that he could not use them for lotteries or any material gain for himself or others. Bullshit. My gift is spiritual. Winning the lottery is also very spiritual. It may not be put to use that way. I think I extend myself on people on the basis I perceive their needs. I can reach to people and help them prepare for situations. Claude gives attention to getting the right nutrients into his body. Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. I can tell when my body needs certain vitamins. He feels African Americans should make greater effort to keep themselves healthy. He advises youngsters there's a whole big role out there. Get an armful of it. Get out there and contribute. Okay, let's talk about health. People, we are overweight for a reason. Being overweight is not an accident. We give that to ourselves. It also could be suicide by way of eating. Never thought of it that way, huh? Well, let me restructure you what suicide looks like. Oh, everybody, you're not supposed to commit suicide. Everybody commits suicide every single day. Every day that you go out. Oh, by the way, I had McDonald's this morning. Every day, I'm not supposed to be eating McDonald's. And I knew better because I had eggs in the house, right? And right now I'm on there's a protein issue going on with me since I fell on my head. So I am back to eating red meat. It won't be permanent, but it is something that I need. And I'm eating eggs way too much because I don't even like eggs that much. So I know my body is saying, give me protein. Double up on it. I think there are protein in beans, but I just don't like beans to that extent. I do like, black-eyed peas, though. Maybe I can make me a nice bowl of black-eyed peas. But I make black-eyed peas without the pork. I make black-eyed peas without the meat. I don't put no bacon grease. I can't stand that. No pork, no smoked pork. I just make it without the meat. The meat gives it more flavoring, but fuck that. I don't need all of that. Anywho, we are not feeding ourselves well. And that's not a color thing. That is a, am I committing suicide by way of, yes, that's a good point, Lottie. That you're so smart. Lottie says, like health, am I a little overweight because we are scared of getting into a relationship? We feel this stops relationship because society tells us weight is everything for women. Yes, but it's funny that you consciously know that. So if you consciously know that you're putting on weight to stop relationships, could we not put on the weight to get into a relationship with ourselves? So now it's no longer about society, it's about me. Hi, beautiful baby. Happy Sunday, everyone. Proteins, lentils. I love lentils, but man, the way the Africans made lentils is my favorite. Oh, I miss African food. Black eyed peas. Okay. Red beans. Caribbeans love red beans. They make red bean soup like you ain't never seen before. I'm not a fan of it, but I did have it the other day, and the person put way too much sugar. And that's the one thing I can't stand. It was dripping in sugar, but it was good as fuck. Pinto beans. What about white beans? Any beans, right? Is protein. Wait, what, Bree? About the Super Bowl? Oh my God, you guys are so funny today. Bree, I spoke earlier about asking for a man, and Bree's like, you and me both, Miss Tracy. Like, where's my man at already? And then, the faces, the faces you make are about you, about me doing a reading on who will play the Super Bowl this year. I'm gonna do it. If y'all gamble on me, go ahead. White beans too. I love white beans. I love white beans. And there's another bean that I like. Can't think of it. Lima beans. I love lima beans. All right. So we're talking about weight, not lima beans and shit, and how we've got to start taking care of our bodies. By the way, guys, it's never too late. I am 62 years old, and I have made a concerted effort 2 years ago to work on my diet, and it's been hard, and I failed, and I got back on again, and I failed again, and I got back on again, and then I tried exercising, and then I failed. And now I'm dying to get back to exercising again, but it's costly to exercise at a gym. So I don't feel like spending the money right now. But I could exercise on video like I used to. That did help too. Um, but just so you know, I keep doing, I fail, I get back on, I fail again, I get back on, I fail again. But every time I fail and get back on, I get back on longer than failing. So I'm not against failing in my job. I'm not against that. I look forward to recapturing doing it over again. I look forward to that. I'm like, okay, had some ice cream. I'm sorry, ate the whole quart, ate the whole gallon. Okay. And then I look forward to, like, you know, the day after where I'm like, you can never do that again, Tracy. That's like being a drunk and drinking a whole bottle. I feel like, I know. Like, well, let's be conservative today. So a lot of salad, a lot of this, a lot of that. And then I won't have ice cream for 6 months. But then when I have ice cream, it'll be like, ate the whole gallon. My favorite lately is pizza. So I learned that I can have pizza, eat the cheese, and not eat the bread. That's nice. New Orleans style red beans. Oh, how does that taste? Because New Orleans can cook their ass off. Asses. White beans. I love white beans. I love lima beans. I'm not a fan of red beans. I don't know what that is. That tells me I'm less Caribbean because red beans are just not my jam. What is that? Yes, it's like no harm asking spirit, at least letting spirit know, yes, I do want a relationship. Yes. But even though you do want a relationship, I feel like we should be saying, I want a relationship with me. I want to figure me out. I want to lose weight. I want to be nicer to myself, let alone others, right? And then when I'm good, like, bring it on. I can handle any man now because I feel so well with myself that I can figure out all the bad jackasses. Someone just sent me a text. Oh, look at this. Really? He never contacts me. Oh no, who said that? Oh no, test me, God. Oh no, can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Really think that God's next test for me should be, can she handle a stupid amount of money?
Wait, listen to this. This is so funny.
Power on. Tabitha speaker. Bluetooth pairing mode.
Oh, what am I doing? Turn it up. What's up?
Eat like I've done that. Have you ever had the feeling that someone in your life wanted to see you fail? Or even that someone was interfering to cause you trouble? Maybe it's just paranoia. Maybe it's not. Well, in the world of the Kitchen Witch, when we have unseen problems, we also have unseen solutions. And some of these solutions come in the form of a big old drink. This is my gin and ginger sour. Not only is it a delicious cocktail, but it's also a spell for protecting your success, possessions, and money. Well known for its healing properties, ginger was once one of the most prized, commonly traded spices in medieval England. Juniper is the main flavor profile in gin, and according to folklore, it guards against theft. Hung above doorways to protect against evil and ne'er-do-wells, juniper is known to break hexes and ward off snakes. Lemon turns foe to friend, so share one of these with your suspected enemy and protect yourself against nefarious intentions. Have you ever had the feeling that someone in your life wanted to see you fail? Or even that someone was interfering to cause you trouble? Maybe it's just paranoia. Maybe it's not. Well, in the world of the Kitchen Witch, when we have unseen problems, we also have unseen solutions.
All right. Wait. I turned my Bluetooth off. It's time for new battery. Is that battery that was in your car when you purchased it? No, it was a new battery. All right, hold on, guys. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. That little kid and his mother, they get on my fucking nerves. Shit. That woman is turning her son into a fucking psycho. I hate it. Oh, you guys did hear that part.
Power on. Tabitha speaker. Bluetooth pairing mode. Your Bluetooth device is connected.
Okay. what does juniper look like? Is juniper kind of like hawthorn? Juniper, because I'm gonna make this drink today. Juniper berries. The seed cones of juniper tree. What does it look like? Oh, well, I could buy it. Oh, I don't think I've ever used juniper. Do you guys want to hear the spell over again? Hi, Rory. Listen to the spell while I go to the bathroom.
Really think that I
Where is it? Where is it, Tracy? Where is it?
Have you ever had the feeling that someone in your life wanted to see you fail? Or even that someone was interfering to cause you trouble? Maybe it's just paranoia, or maybe it's not. Well, in the world of the Kitchen Witch, when we have unseen problems, we also have unseen solutions. And some of these solutions come in the form of a big old drink. This is my gin and ginger sour. Not only is it a delicious cocktail, but it's also a spell for protecting your success, possessions, and money. Well known for its healing properties, ginger was once one of the most prized and commonly traded spices in medieval England. Juniper is the main flavour profile in gin, and according to folklore, it guards against theft. Hung above doorways to protect against evil and ne'er-do-wells, juniper is known to break hexes and ward off snakes. Lemon turns foe to friend, so share one of these with your suspected enemy and protect yourself against nefarious intentions. Have you ever had the feeling that someone in your life wanted to see you fail? Or even that someone was interfering to cause you trouble? Maybe it's just paranoia, or maybe it's not. Well, in the world of the Kitchen Witch, when we have unseen problems, we also have unseen solutions. And some of these solutions come in the form of a big old drink. This is my gin and ginger sour. Not only is it a delicious cocktail, but it's also a spell for protecting your success, possessions, and money. Well known for its healing properties, ginger was once one of the most prized and commonly traded spices in medieval England. Juniper is the main flavour profile in gin, and according to folklore, it guards against theft. Hung above doorways to protect against evil and ne'er-do-wells, juniper is known to break hexes and ward off snakes. Lemon turns foe to friend, so share one of these with your suspected enemy and protect yourself against nefarious intentions. Have you ever had the feeling that someone in your life wants...
Okay. Did you guys hear that? I didn't see her cutting up a juniper, though. Is it juniper leaf or juniper berry? I have the video here. I'll share the video with you guys. Share. Copy. She added gin. I'm not suggesting gin unless you like to drink liquor. Liquor makes me so tired. But you can add the liquor of your choice, even though she chose gin. But there's no way I'm drinking gin, child. She's a good woman. Let me see. I am putting this in the comments. Grand Rising Incognito. I'm putting this in the comments. Grand Rising Incognito. I'm putting this in the comments. All right, relax, Tracy, relax. Oh, but I did stop. I did want you guys to hear this one though. This is the one I was trying to play for you all. Where is it? Who did I send it to? Me? No. This one.
she handle a stupid amount of money? Really think that God's next test for me should be, can she handle a stupid amount of money? Because I've done, heartbreak, medical trauma, being so poor, I don't know if I'm going to eat. Like, I've done that, survived. So maybe, can she handle just like stupid amounts of money? I really think that God's next test for me should be, can she handle a stupid amount of money? Because I've done, heartbreak, medical trauma, being so poor, I don't know if I'm going to eat. Like, I've done that, survived. So
Survive.
maybe can she handle just like stupid amounts of money? I really think that God's next test for me should be, can she handle a stupid amount of money? Because I've done,
I love that. Oh my God. God, test me with a stupid amount of money. The lottery. Do whatever you want with me. When it comes to money, test me. I'm ready, Lord. I'm ready. Yeah, Rory, don't do that. You're only going to become a drunk. Don't trick yourself into thinking that drinking too good. Don't do that. Please, whatever you do, don't do that. It's good for the heart. You know what's good for the heart, Rory? Exercise. Try that. Not a drinker, but maybe a small glass. No, a small glass will turn to a very large cup. And then 2 very large cups. We'll see. Don't start that shit. Don't make drinking something as a test for your heart. Do not do that. And then you're going to start crying. Oh, I don't have a boyfriend. Oh, nobody loves me. Because the wine is attaching to the heart where you're at the moment. That's what wine does. Right? That's why when you're in a club and you're drinking, right? You start getting all amorous and sexy because you believe at the club that's what you're supposed to do. So when you start drinking, you become that. That's not where the test with God should be. It should not be with a glass of wine. Sorry, sweetie. All right. Over it. Listen to this, guys. Check this out.
I think that God's next test for me should be, can she handle a stupid amount of money? Because I've done, heartbreak, medical trauma, being so poor, I don't know if I'm going to eat. Like, I've done that, I've survived. So maybe can she handle just like stupid amounts of money?
What's happening here? Why am I not getting this video? What is happening? Oh, God. Oh, I hate my life.
I don't know if I'm going to eat. Like, I've done that, I've survived. So I really think that God's next test for me should be, can she handle a stupid amount of money? Because I've done, heartbreak, medical trauma, being so poor, I don't know if I'm going to eat. Like, I've done that, I've survived. So maybe can she handle just like stupid amounts of money?
I can handle it, God. I can handle it. Test me. Test me, God. I can handle a stupid amount of large sums of money. Imagine just paying my bills on time. Imagine like getting apps just because I can get apps now, not because I have to be like, well, I can only afford 3 apps a month on top of Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, Apple Plus, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, Peacock, and Max. Can I please have 3 more apps that just I could enjoy outside of streaming? And cable. Like, I have to give up cable because streaming is The fuck? I have to give up cable because streaming is so expensive. All right. What's everybody thinking? Sexercise. Oh, I love that. Look at here. Drink that gin if you want to. Remember this. Gin makes you sin. I never heard that. Gin makes you sin. Girl, now you know. You know that is a language right there. Gin makes you sin. Okay, guys, I have a surprise for you. I'm going to shave my armpits. I haven't shaved my armpits in 3 damn years. I just wanted to see how long my armpits would grow. That's all. But I think the experiment is over after 3 years. And I'm going to shave my armpits. So tomorrow I'm going to show you my armpits with hair on it. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to show you my armpits shaved. I really just wanted to shave them on TV, but I just don't want people to get grossed out about it. Would YouTube be against me shaving my armpits on TV? Oh, well, YouTube is so funny. All right. So remember, no more food suicide, people. Figure out what you're putting in your body is actually hurting you. Figure that out. Oh, oh my God. Thank you. Oh, thank you. All right. I posted a pic on, it's called my Mona Lisa pic. I posted a pic on Facebook. And I'm calling it my Mona Lisa pic. I never did understand that damn Mona Lisa picture and what the big deal was. I still don't get it, but I have a version of it in my on my Facebook. It's a nice picture. All right. Lottie goes, these cocktails, pineapple and coconut. That's amazing without alcohol in a tropical island where you are, Tracy. Could you get, yes, I can get fresh pineapple. Yes. Easy coconut. Yes. And make a pina colada cocktail. Yes, those things are easier to purchase here on the island. And the funny thing is, I never did. I love fruit. Me too. When it's sweet from the sun, we don't get that in UK. You don't get fruit or you don't get sun. Which one? Probably both. All right. On to the next. A group of discorporate spiritual beings in accord with her and awaiting themselves for universal good, work with Latufo manure. Different ones shared in the readings. They respond based on specific needs. There is no single guide which consistently manifests to Latufo when she reads or teaches, nor even when she requests direction from her own growth. Through her own voice that she hears in her head and through her feelings, they communicate with her. I don't really see them. I ask them to come and I know they are there, she says. Wait, I gotta put that down. I ask them to come and I know they are there, she says. Let's talk about that. They are very gracious. Their personalities comes out quite a bit when I start communicating and ask questions in my head when I do my readings. They have a wonderful sense of humor and it takes people off guard. They give jokes. And it's not that the guides aren't serious. I'm not a trance medium. I'm totally in control. I will give messages, but not yield my body. Latufo teaches psychic development in San Francisco Bay Area to individuals and groups. I feel a large part of my calling is to be a teacher and to teach a variety of things, she explains. I taught social work for many years. I felt very comfortable with that. I think I'm always teaching and get involved in training because I feel I'm doing something worthwhile. Me too. When I work with people and assisting them in developing their own skills and encouraging them to expand themselves, so do I. I like being a catalyst for people. After accepting a teaching position at Atlanta University, she lived in Atlanta for 3 years. She went to teach social work at the University of Iowa for 2.5 years. She was also a graduate there. She taught practice classes on racism and discrimination and did academic advising. It was not until her two-full study settled in San Francisco Bay Area that she took classes in psychic development. She studied at the Aquarian Institute for 2 years and taught beginners classes for a while before starting her own metaphysical study group. That's what Jason and I are doing right now. Jason and I are incorporating a way to push out unto others a metaphysical study group. By the way, tarot classes will begin again. They will begin again, and I am doing tarot classes with Sky or Beautiful Conundrum. So if y'all want to start your metaphysical expansion through Zoom, come join me and Sky. I don't know when we're going to start it, but we're going to start it probably. Sky was going through all these dates. I was letting her do it. She's like, 1 + 1 is 6, and this, that, and the third, and on the second, and add up these numbers. I was dying just listening to her pick a date. But we're thinking January after the new year is the perfect time to, because Sky said 2025 is a 9-year, but it's also a 7-year because a lot of us just use the 25. And so it's a spiritual restructuring year. And the 9 is practically the end. It's the beginning of the end, right? So the 9-year is where we're going to see a lot of internal changes. Because the 10-year is the end and the beginning. So 2026 is the year where most of us are going to be like, fuck that. Whatever I was for the last 10 years, fuck that. This is it. But the 9-year is where we're beginning to end the end. Right? So this is the perfect year to reset doing tarot classes again. This guy and I are going to do it in January. Heads up, in January. All right. I'm coming back to the book. I'm coming out of a period where I've wanted to be involved with other people. Spirit has made it such I have not been involved with other people in terms of teaching. I have been going through some personal transformation. I am preparing to teach again, and I'm also preparing to learn. Now, I've requested that Spirit send me a teacher, and I'm awaiting the teacher's arrival. I also said I'm prepared to teach again, and so to have scheduled a class in psychic development. Yes. So I'm confessing to all the things I'm about to do. So I also asked God to send me a teacher. And he sent me somebody else at first, but for whatever reason, it didn't expand. And I'm okay with that. And then he sent me to the farmer and his wife because I requested it. And I want to learn herbs more. So I was asking about learning herbs magically. That's what I want to do. But God, through COVID, has begun to teach me about herbs medicinally, magically. So the farmer's wife is all about herbs for medicinal reasons. She's not a doctor. She does not play one on TV, but the herbs have a natural component of healing. And that's not the area that I wanted to go into, I thought. But now that I'm there, it's just so nice to combine herbs because you can take them internally, and herbs that you can also use for magic. I am entering into a period of being taught again at 62, and it's nice. And now I need to transpose the information into magic. And so, yeah, look out for, information that could make sense to you all. Look out, because I'm so ready to begin again. I'm so ready. I'm so happy. I didn't know I could be this broke and this happy. Give me money, God. I can handle it. Send it to me. Text me. All right, that's delirium for you. All right. I am preparing to teach again. Latipo elaborates on types of psychic healing, explaining that there are two types. One has to do with adjusting of the aura and laying on hands. The other is mental or psychic healing, which is done on a psychic plane without any movement of the hands. Basically, what I do centers around the gift of healing and to extend the gift of discerning to a precognition of what's going to happen. To me, discernment is getting at the truth of what's happening. The twofold reflects for a long time. I feel like I'm still at the beginning of all of this. There's so much for me to learn. I just opened myself up to that. I'm really interested in what women have done, she complains. I'm really serving as a catalyst for women to regain power. Oh my God, me too. On themselves and their own destiny, not over others. A twofold reveal to philosophy. I will encourage my students with everything I have to develop their own skills and be dependent upon themselves, and to have a healthy interdependency with other human beings, and to use relationships differently than perhaps they have before. Because to me, when people are dependent upon other people and yield seniority or yield their powers, there's no way on earth they can fulfill their own potential. Boom. Boom. Now, let me tell you something. There's this Frankfurter guy here, right? And if anybody doesn't know, Frankfurters are one of my favorite things. It's also a New York thing. There's a Frankfurter stand on every corner, at least used to be before COVID. I love Franks. If we go to a barbecue, I'm not eating a hamburger. I am eating 10 Franks, right? Again, food suicide. And so I found this guy opened up a Frankfurter stand, and I decided once a week I will treat myself to a Frankfurter, most likely on Saturdays. I decided this. One day I go to the Frankfurter stand. I don't know how we got into it, but he found out that I was a psychic. And so he holds out, so he goes, read me. And I said, well, it doesn't really go that way. I don't just read people. And he goes, oh. And I was like, yeah. And then I heard Spirit say, take his hand. Now, I have the gift of healing, laying on hands. And so I forget sometimes because it's not the gift I ever wanted to use. So I heard Spirit say, take his hand. So I said, well, give me your hand. So I go to grab my hand on his hand. I don't know if we did right and left. I think we did right and left. His left hand, my right hand. So I go to hold him, and I'm petrified because I'm pretty convinced I won't get anything. So I'm holding him, holding his hand, looking for the vibration and the message. Once I calmed down, the message came through. The message said he was sick. So I look at him and I go, "You're very sick." And he goes, "No, I'm not." So I hold him again and I said, "Oh Lord, I'm going to be embarrassed," because there was a woman watching. I said, "Oh Lord, I'm going to be embarrassed right now." He says he's not sick. So then I opened my eyes again and I said, "Yes, you are." And then he thinks about it for a second and he goes, "I'm stressed." And I said, "Over what?" He said, "My children." I said, "Oh." I said, "How old are your children?" 35, 30. And I says, "No, they're grown. They're grown." "Well, they always ask me for money." I said, "Well, no is a whole answer. But they're grown. And you might be stressing yourself over them, but you're physically hurting yourself. So I'm afraid that you are sick. And we'll say it's your kids. Maybe it is your kids. I don't really know, but I know that you are sick. And so at the very least, could we let children find their way out of their problems? So I think I'm helping him by telling him, don't let your kids take advantage of you. It's okay if you say no. They're just used to crying like little 5-year-olds, and you coming to the rescue, but you're believing them and you're stressing yourself out of from them. And he agreed with me, right? I go for a week, I come back, I eat my Frankfurter, no fanfare. The third week after this incident, second week, I eat my Frankfurter, no fanfare. The third week, he's not really looking at me, right? Kind of like ignoring me. And I was like, okay, this is a little different air, but I really don't give a fuck. I came for my Frankfurter. And just as I finish, he goes, "I'll be away for a while." And all I could think is me. I'm like, "What do you mean you're going to be away for a while? What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I'm sick." So I just looked at him dead in the eyes. And he goes, "I was driving and my eyes became blind." And so I don't say anything because I don't want to be like, I told you. I just stayed quiet. And he goes, "So I'm closing up shop and I'm going to Georgia and I'm going to figure out what the hell is wrong with me." And I said, "Good for you. Do that." And he said, "You told me I was sick." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "But you know what? It was a warning. So maybe if I didn't tell you, you would have gone blind anyway and gotten your sight back, and you would have ignored it because you got your sight back. But maybe that I said something and then you lost your sight is now giving you an opportunity to go see a doctor and take a whole bunch of tests. So just happy that you're taking care of yourself." Right? I say that to say, because that was a version of laying on hands. Trust and believe. Oh, you don't have to trust me. I really don't give a fuck. I heal. Right? I don't use it. Right? Because if I used it, I probably would charge a lot of money. Give me money, Lord. Give me money. I can handle it. What if he allows the healing to be a thing and then I heal people? Oh, there was a movie like that. I heal people. This is one of my fears, is the vision that I got, which is the reason why I don't heal. And I have people lined up outside my door trying to be healed. And they would pay anything, right? right? Imagine people would pay anything to live. Imagine that. And you and I take advantage and eat like McDonald's to die. Okay, on to the next. Let me drink some water. I'm on rare form today. I know, but it's one of my fears. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm scared, Lottie. I'm so scared. All right. Next story. Laura Edwards was going through a troublesome time. It's 11/11. Make a wish, guys. It's all wish for money. The lottery. The Super Bowl win. It's all wish for love. Kindness love to us. Caring love. The right type of love. In the gender that you want. You have to mention the gender, guys. I want my love from a very kind, loving man. To me and to others. At first, I thought I want a man loving to me, but there could be a man that comes to you that's loving to you, but could be a bitch to others. I would not like that. So, all right. I put my wish out there. Okay. Laura Edwards was going through a troublesome time. Her 4 children were very young. Her grandmother admonished Laura on how she was relating to them. You don't know these people. They are people individually. She then gave Laura a little book on astrology. It was the older woman's intent that her great-grandchildren be raised differently than most people. That is my desire for my grandkids. This is why I gave Ezra tarot cards. Tarot cards. I did say tarot cards.
Battery is low.
Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I just need water. All right. Laura. In my family, all my children are natural spiritual beings. It was a unique experience learning from the children what being psychic was all about, what being spiritual was all about. Laura regards her grandmother
Battery is low.
as her true friend and teacher. She recalls being most impressed by grandma's capacity to love and forgive. Oh, child, that forgive part. When Laura sought to be instructed in those qualities, she was told, you just do these things. Grandmother's forte was in tarot cards, which she used to make predictions. My grandmother pushed a button in me, and I unfolded, I guess, like I was supposed to. Before that, there was nothing except being fascinated by people. My awareness of being psychic was never there until my grandmother pushed that button. That Laura was benefiting from the studies being evidence. Her grandmother introduced her to her cards and palmistry. I developed my psychic self from those avenues. Things started to happen to me as I started to raise my consciousness to a different level. All of a sudden, it wasn't just my children or my grandmother. They became different to me. I studied with them
Battery is low.
with a passion. Relax.
Power on.
A teacher of metaphysical and psychic subjects, Laura Edwards, has lived in Cleveland, Ohio. Laura moved in the study of meditation, metaphysics, and everything she could find of the positive aspects of the spiritual world. She studied philosophy. Have you guys ever looked up studying philosophy? Do it. She studied yoga. I took Kundalini yoga. It is hard as hell. Do it. Eastern and Indian thought. Asian philosophy, the American way, will actually calm your nerves down. I was never in anything negative, which is why I don't watch scary movies. Right? I don't watch scary movies because I don't want that infiltrating my positive lifestyle. Nothing negative. I've always had this intuition which would say to me, this is not a good thing. Over the years, this intuition developed more and more as I became further interested in God and people. Guys, just because you're becoming universal, spiritual, metaphysical, you don't take God out the picture, right? Although I have to tell you, God does not give a fuck if you take him out the picture. He does not care. So don't make a big deal. Well, I like to call the universe. Okay. That's God's name too. God doesn't care. You don't have to say God. You don't have to say Jesus. All fine. However way you get there, God just says, just get here. You can get here by way of the universe. Right? Okay. All right. Laura moved and study yoga. This is someone would ask me, have you heard of this? And something within me would say, leave it alone. Her perceptions awakened. Laura could now see auric pictures, which had audible qualities. It's strange to see a picture when you're looking at a person. I didn't have my eyes closed. It was never like that for me. I'm looking at you and I can see everything. I am hearing something and I am experiencing something else at the same time. I was in this manner at first as information conditions of the future to Laura. Asked about difficulties arising from practicing psychicism as a service to the public, Laura could see that for a while she withdrew from her practice, which is okay. You get caught up in the glamour of it. Oh my God, that is so true. When I was in the public a lot, I found it was very imitating to my own spiritual growth. When you start looking at yourself as somebody, you've automatically lost yourself. You just slam the door in your own face. The pull on this is very enormous. When you get out there, people start giving you attention. You feel wonderful. You're like children. Your pendulum will swing from loving it to running from it. I don't run from it. Laura teaches meditation as a way to find answers within herself. She helps people to tap into their own potential of knowing, encouraging their consciousness and spirit to flow through them. This is a stream that is constant between us as human beings. Here's true. What we are dealing with is our search for the truth that unites us. I think we are looking for that connection on every level. I believe that the people who are involved in the spiritual world, for the most part, understand that oneness more and are trying to do something about making everyone aware of it. We feel a kingship. We are working on trying to overcome ourselves. Yeah. When I'm out in the world, lately, how I can tell who is spiritual is by their jewelry. So I always connect my jewelry to their jewelry. I always give them like a wink. I'm like, ah, and I point to my jewelry, and then they look at their, and then I touch my jewelry with their jewelry. It's just some obnoxious shit that I do to show people like, I know you. You're trying just like me. Let me see what people have to say. Hi, sissy. Aw. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Yes, we can have a wonderful party with everyone's happy. Yes, do the laying on the hands. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still scared of it. I think I'm scared if I lay on hands and it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like I lay on hands and they die. And they're like, oh, I thought you had the gift. And I'd be like, well, yeah, I thought I did too. But what I can tell you, oh my God, I'm going off on a tangent again. What I can tell you about the laying of hands and the illness of someone, some people just want to die. Seriously. Seriously. So be careful who you pray for. Seriously. It's okay that some people just want to die. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what their life has been. We don't know how tired they are. And I'm not saying on a conscious level they want to die. I'm saying on a physical level they want to die. So if we can help people to recognize that that is something that they are doing to themselves, we might be able to get them to live, as opposed to them using a sickness to die. All right, I hope I helped there. All right. My purpose, teaching so that people can find their way. We are all here for a reason. Aren't we though? And the reason for any lifetime is growth. If you don't grow, you rot. Oh, it's the second time I heard this. Did I just hear it in the book? If you don't grow, you stay the same? Or did I hear it on IG? Second time I heard this. If you don't grow, you rot. The whole purpose of life is to grow. Not stay stuck and stupid, people. Just to grow. So asserts Dolores O'Brien, director of the Uranian Agency Center for New Age Sciences in Cleveland. Uranian Agency is a holistic health and education establishment. I have been aware all my life in childhood. I heard voices, felt an intuitiveness. There were feelings. Dolores possessed. I'm getting tired now. Getting tired. Hold on. Get through this, Tracy. Okay. All right. Hold on a second, guys. Starting to get tired. I've been aware all my life in childhood. I heard voices, felt intuitiveness, and there were feelings. Dolores' profession was real estate, which she gave up to teach astrology and other metaphysical disciplines. In a pamphlet issued by Logically Speaking, an Ohio metaphysical network of which Dolores is the executive director. She writes, it seems to me that astrology and the ancient teachings are experiencing a renaissance. I would suggest so as to not be caught up in chaotic, unrealistic conditions caused by the ruthless tactics of those in authority, that we make use of our own personal natural resources on a collective level. I would suggest that we choose not to participate in the negative. That keeps coming up. Choose to accept changes offered now in the way you relate to conditions and situations around you. Choose to be willing to be a part of the group through positive reinforcement of our imaging faculties and to gain control of and direct the illusion of which we have chosen to be a part of. Since first studying astrology in 1969, she has written numerous newspapers, columns, and has been featured on radio and television programs. From an outline of one of her talks given in 1984, Dolores is describing as coming to realize that everything and everybody is part of one whole. And an idea or dream, which is a goal set for yourself, is also something which you have to do. You're supposed to do. She emphasizes once you are excited about something, you're getting in touch with your mission, then every door opens to make that dream come true. That's nice. Let me see what somebody is saying. Lottie, yes, I haven't thought of it. They be maybe self-wishing in vicious cycles. Yeah. And what that person might need is a healer, someone with love, actually seeing them, just seeing them. Yeah, it's a good point, Lottie. That's an excellent point. All right. I'm getting sleepy. What time is it? 11:30. My life's purpose, teaching in all of its form, I consider myself teaching through my storytelling and the artistic stuff that I do. Then there's teaching through being. If you do work on yourself, you start to embody certain qualities. I often say when I see something that I view to be good, I say not only let me know it, but let me be it. Don't let me know something, let me be it. That's nice. Because we accept each other in several ways, as well as very clear cut, deliberate ways, we need to keep going compassionately, not in denial. It's not my nature to hide on the mountain when there are things that need to be done on earth. Louisa Tish, she's the one that wrote that book, Jambalaya. In her role as a teacher lecturer, she travels the country giving workshops and classes on African goodness, feminist spirituality, and shamanism. She has been doing this work since 1980. A friend of Louisa attending her first workshop said, Tish, you really think you're being generous by sitting here and giving us this information? Think about that sister in Mississippi who's sitting in her cabin and crying, depressed, with no one to talk to. By not writing a book, you're being stingy with her. That made it real for me, Louisa said. Suddenly I could see that a woman 1,000 times over. Suddenly I could see that woman 1,000 times over. I let myself agree that a book should be done and more widely distributed. Louisa gained support from the sisters who burned candles and sent her energy as she wrote. Once, when she was stuck, she corresponded with the woman who had sent her a letter somewhere in the Northwest. The woman wrote back saying she had gone into meditation during which a goddess appeared to her as a three-legged hen. That's hilarious. She told the woman to send a message to Louisa that everything would be all right, that she would finish the book. I think about that and I start to recognize that the book is the product of a number of people, not just me. She who whispers, Yamaja, and all the ancestors from Africa, one thought. She pumped the information into me. She who whispers brought me the inspiration, and the women of my community kept the motivation going. Louisa speaks of other assistance from another plane. Shortly after we had an eclipse of the moon, I came into this house. The lights went out on the block for an hour. We had candles lit all over the house. I laid down and I got the message real clear of all my ancestors sitting around the table. They were shuffling the papers of my destiny. They were looking at the contract of my life. They were saying, we have to make some amendments here and look at something there. I don't know what areas they were talking about, but I do know on a spiritual level, me and my ancestors are renegotiating right now. I feel eclipsed. I go from one day to the next. I don't know what's going to come on to the next wave of vision, but I do know that if it's is true to pattern, it will be hard work and exciting. Almost every religion in the world tells us to listen to the still small voice. But when that voice really starts to talk to you, you cannot say that publicly. At times, when I was working on the section of story in Jambalaya entitled The Needy Winter, I could see the blue suit psychologist standing by his desk saying, we clearly have a case of dissociative personality. That's a problem because unfortunately, psychologically and psychiatry forget that they are the grandchildren, not the forebears. They create a mode where the only time they have anything to say about hearing voices is that someone is crazy. So it is projected that if you hear voices at all, you're sick. That instills fear. So that as soon as your guiding voice speaks, you add fear to it and run. I felt to say clearly to people, I've been crazy and I have come out the other side and it's wonderful over here. That's nice. I think that's the key to tell people, nope, I was always crazy. You hear voices, sure do. That means you're crazy, sure am. All right, we can't help you. Okay. Wasn't asking for your help. Conceding that sometimes her heightened perception makes day-to-day living somewhat difficult. Louisa still asks for importance of gaining knowledge. For me, ignorance is not a bliss. Yes, it is painful sometimes to be so very tuned into the pains of so many people. But the reward is knowing that sometimes you can do something. The reward is that people's joy is also contagious. The biggest reward for me is I am never bored. I don't know what bored feels like. I'm able to say that I love my life, and I know there was a time I couldn't say that. I am infinitely richer because I'm willing to be open to be. I can find the joy in very simple things. Like a lot of people, I like material things, but we get trapped into thinking we can only be happy if we are wearing Calvin Klein. We are beyond the age of tribalism, Louisa reminds us. I am fortunate in that I can walk outside and look at the roses and birds and children playing down the street, and I can be really happy. I can really count myself fortunate, for the treasure is in recognizing interconnection with other people, not being blinded by overbearing ethocentrism. All right, There's a part here where somebody says to her, "Oh, you're having this little group, but are you doing a service to someone who's in the mountains crying right now?" And that made her write her book. I love that. And the same token is the modern day version of why I do YouTube. I do YouTube to reach people. That's why I do YouTube. Sometimes I got to yell at people. Get over it. But I do it to reach you, to get to the person that feels a certain kind of way about their life, their lifestyle, the mistakes. Like, is it all their fault that they are where they're at? No, it's not your fault. The world is fucked up. Certainly isn't your fault. But I'm here to tell you that it's not your fault, right? I feel like without me, and I'm not like putting a like, oh, thank God you guys found me. I'm not saying that. But if you want to take it that way, I'm okay with that. I feel like without me using the modern day tools that God has given us, remember that guy God again, or universe, or Allah, I don't care what you call him. I'm grateful of this development of the internet, because I would never know that woman that is so miserable in the mountains with the abusive husband. You know? So this is my version of writing a book, I think. Yeah. This is my version of writing. And I love it. All right, guys. On to the next. So I swear to God, I thought I could finish this today, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to finish this today. Damn it. We got one more week, and then once I finish, we'll do the meditational practice, okay? Let me see if I should finish this right now. What time is it? All right. Prior to founding the Crenshaw, Los Angeles Metaphysics Institute, which I don't think appears anymore, in Los Angeles, Cora Keaton and Jessica Marshall studied together at a metaphysical university to earn their doctorates. I met Jessica in 1970 through her deceased husband, Cora recalls. We shared similar interests and studied together at the university. We now meet to work together for each other and with other Black psychics in the area. As far back as 7 years old, Cora remembers the dream that came true, that she saw a disembodied soul. Information came to her before it was actually in the physical world. I ran away from it, she says. Her mother opposed her gifts, but the real blow came while she was in her teens. A friend's boyfriend disapproved of her gifts so strongly she tried to shut them off. In her mid-20s, Cora decided to understand her attributes through study and to learn to use them as a tool for her spiritual betterment of herself and others. I started reading professionally after I got my doctorate. I had more certainty and structure. I asked guidance from God. I started teaching classes to those wanting to develop and also giving psychic treatments. That's what I should call this session. Psychic treatment. No, not psychic treatment. I'll figure it out. Treatments I do like. I am better because of my psychic gifts. This is meaning in my life. I feel more fulfilled than ever before. Studying and opening the center have been very rewarding. She counsels and teaches through psychic readings, metaphysical consultations, voodoo, past life regression therapy, exorcisms, and meditation. I let people know they have control when they come to me. Cora's deep interest lies in helping African Americans to develop and use their intuition. I do psychic work, negatively called voodoo. I want to enlighten Black people to use their psychic abilities, and to those abilities come out of fear and superstition. Only 5 African Americans studied at the university when Cora attended. There she resolved to open a center in her community. When I started in 1976, all my clientele was white. Now it's 50-50. Cora's associate, Jessica, aware at 10 that she could predict purposely and confidently direct medical energy to influence people's thoughts and to get her way. Her studies of metaphysics began in 1975, and in 1977 she received her doctorate. She referred people to the Bible, not for religious doctrine, right? This is very important, everyone, but for spiritual truth, sharing a deeper understanding of the truth in the Bible and teaching people how to apply those truths to everyday living are her goals. The Bible, meditation, the alchemy of herbs. Oh my God, this is my life right here. Candles, oils, incense, and regular playing cards or tarot cards are some of the ways through which Jessica implements consultation and psychic healing. One of her own directions Jessica confines, being psychic lets me develop my life to make it more harmonious, peaceful, and closer to God. To be one with, to be aware of my oneness with God, to be able to share the understanding and wisdom for all people, regardless of where or who you are. We are all on the path to God. Do you understand that? We're all on the path to God. That's actually very, very beautiful. I actually love that. I just want to sink that in a little bit. We're on the path to God. So gorgeous to me. I love that. We're all on the path to God. Let me highlight that. Where is it? Damn it. Median light, psychic reading, chorus, deepest American enlightenment. Chorus, and just received openly when I started being psychic. Oh, now I can't find it. Here it is. We are all on the path to God. Woo, that is so nice. We sometimes need physical tools to remind us that our purpose is to serve God, serve humanity. Let's not waste this life, right? I don't know about you, but I ain't coming back. So if I got to serve humanity, bring it on. Because we are not doing this again. I'm not coming back as nobody's child. My mother's not coming back as my daughter. Nope. I'm not coming back. This generation can stop with me. Not doing it. Right, God? We talked about this. All right. Jessica evaluates. I feel that I have helped people to understand themselves better and how they fit into the universal scheme of things. The scheme of things of life. That even though we are individuals, we are in this together. Right, you two? We're in this together. I have shared a lot with people. I intend to continue sharing my understanding of life with people. Whenever someone comes with a personal problem, I let them know they need God with them. She's emphasizing God a lot in the last few pages here. She didn't emphasize God in the beginning. I feel like there's somebody else here at the end of this book, like somewhere in her travels and meeting these people. I feel like there's a common denominator that she's now pinging on proudly, right? I feel like somebody else is writing this book, and I can only imagine that she has grown to the last pages of this book to be and understand the reason why the book needed to be written, the reason why she needed to travel, the reason why she needed to reach out to others. I feel like in the end, this book was a confirmation for her. That's just me talking. I let them know they need God with them. I use counseling to get them back into the Bible. Really? Not for religious dogma, but for spiritual growth. Wow. Maybe that's the problem we're all having with the Bible, is that it becomes about a dogma and, busting your ass to get it inside of you, when if we see it as a spiritual tool for growth. I like changing the concept in my head. Jessica, born in Louisiana, raised in Oakland and Los Angeles, is a longtime Los Angeles resident. Cora and Jessica speak of growing together and inspiring each other in their relationship, which goes back to the 70s. They travel nationwide to co-teach seminars. Since the last decade, they have brought African American psychics together to work on directing light into the collective thought of the Black community. I think I would like to start traveling and speaking or creating groups, right? I don't know if I can go into spaces, but I know I can create my own space, right? And start traveling to invite people for a collective class. When I was in Washington, D.C., we had a meet and greet. And I wish I had the foresight to take that meet and greet and turn it into an experience, a class, a session. I think I would like to see meet and greets that would be collectively inspiring, even if I tell a joke or two. All right. Corey, you and Jessica just inspired me. To be better. Let me see what everybody is saying. Yes, traveling. Hi, Rhonda. Beautiful. Beautiful. We are all on a path to God, right? Spirit wants us to use our unique special gifts. You never know when and where you have changed and helped people. Like you, Tracy, have that magic. God magic needs to be spread, Tracy, sweetie. Thank you. But, Lottie, you have it too. Every time you come on, you bring brightness to the feed. So I love it when you come on. So you have the same gift. You're just using it in your particular way. All right. Do I want to stop here? I think I'll stop here because I just don't want to get exhausted. All right. Next week, we're going to finish this daggone book. Oh, my goodness. And we're going to try a little experiment. That's going to be nice. All right, God. All right, God. I was going to say, all right, God, love you. But I do love God. And I do say that. Maybe, okay, here's a homework assignment for you to stay in a positivity. When something good happens, I don't care if you're eating a pizza. I don't care if you're watching a television show and a beautiful butterfly shows up. I don't care if you watch two dogs fighting, play fighting. I don't care. Learn to say all week. We're going to practice this, right? Learn to say, thank you, God. That's it. Don't add nothing else to it. If you happen to notice a pretty flower, or if you pass a store and they have, in New York, they have these places where they have buckets and buckets and buckets of flowers. Learn to say, thank you, Lord. That's it. If you notice something positive, say thank you, Lord. If something positive happens to you, like you win the lottery, please share. No, just kidding. Say thank you, Lord. And I meant share with me. No, just kidding. Just kidding. If somebody says to you, I get this shit all the fucking time. If somebody says to you, you look nice today, don't be fucking negative and turn it around to say, oh, today, not every day. Don't do that. Just say thank you to the person and then say thank you, Lord, because you never know if it's one of your ancestors speaking through someone. You never know if it's God saying, you haven't been told in a long time that you look nice. So I'm going to send you somebody. Just say thank you. Thank you, Lord. Say thank you to the person and say thank you, Lord, inside your head. Let's do that as homework this week. And let me know how you feel by next Sunday. Let me know if every day some burden is lifted off your shoulders because you just kept looking at the positivity out in the world or being given to you. And all you have to say is, thank you, Lord. Let me know. I love you all. Take it easy. Bye.
In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown lives the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody so pure and strong. In her presence we know we belong.
What's happening here?